At 9:42 p.m., the camera is already recording, mounted high on the corner of a quiet residential street. It captures a still, ordinary scene. Parked cars, a dim streetlight, and leaves drifting across the pavement. Nothing appears unusual. A man walks past without looking up. Seconds later, another figure appears at the edge of the frame, lingering briefly before fading back into the background. The footage continues uninterrupted. Cars pass, lights switch off, and the street remains calm. Days later, investigators will review the same footage, rewinding and pausing it repeatedly. At first, they will see what everyone else saw. Nothing, but something is there, small, subtle, and easily overlooked. The camera captured the truth, but no one realized it in time. The case begins when 32-year-old Adeze Okonkwo is reported missing after failing to show up for work. Known for her consistency, her sudden absence raises immediate concern. By evening, a formal report is filed. Her apartment shows no signs of disturbance, and her belongings remain untouched. Her phone is missing, but that alone is not alarming. The last recorded activity on her device is at 9:47 p.m. the previous night. Neighbors report no unusual sounds or activity. Everything suggests a quiet disappearance. One potential lead emerges: a security camera positioned at the intersection outside her building. Investigators retrieve the footage within 48 hours and review it between 9 p.m. and 11 p.m. They observe routine movement. Pedestrians, vehicles, nothing out of place. At 9:41 p.m., Adeze appears on screen, walking calmly across the street toward her apartment. She disappears from view. This becomes her last confirmed sighting. The footage is logged and stored, but nothing about it raises concern. The investigation focuses on her routine contacts and recent activity. Phone records reveal nothing unusual. Officers canvass the area, but no one reports anything suspicious. The footage remains secondary, useful for confirming a timeline but not offering answers. Days pass, then weeks. The case stalls. 3 weeks later, a digital forensics analyst revisits the footage during a routine review. This time, the focus shifts from the subject to the surroundings. At 9:42 p.m., just after Adeze exits the frame, a faint irregularity appears, a shadow that seems out of place. The analyst rewinds and slows the footage. Frame by frame, the shadow resolves into a person standing partially concealed near a parked car. The figure had been there for over a minute before Adeze appeared, completely still and blending into the environment. It went unnoticed because it did not move. With this discovery, investigators reconstruct the timeline. At 9:40 p.m., the street is empty. At 9:41 p.m., Adeze enters. At 9:42 p.m., she exits. Seconds later, at 9:42 and 7 seconds p.m., the figure moves, stepping forward and following the same path. The behavior suggests intent. The footage is enhanced, but facial details remain unclear. Still, the presence is undeniable. A second camera, located 2 streets away, captures a dark sedan at 9:49 p.m. It pauses briefly at an intersection. Movement is visible in the passenger seat, though indistinct. Investigators continue analyzing additional footage and discover a third camera, a doorbell system near Adeze's building entrance. When synchronized, the timeline becomes clearer. At 9:44 p.m., the doorbell camera captures 2 figures entering in close succession. There is no visible struggle, only proximity. Minutes later, the sedan appears again. This time, enhanced analysis suggests the movement inside the vehicle is not random. It indicates restraint. The realization is immediate. The initial camera did not just capture a routine moment. It captured the beginning of the crime. The suspect had been present from the start, visible but unnoticed, waiting without drawing attention. Because nothing seemed urgent, the detail was overlooked. With the reconstructed timeline, investigators narrow their search. Vehicle records identify a suspect with indirect ties to the area, someone previously questioned but dismissed. Now, his movements align precisely with the footage. An arrest follows, and evidence confirms his involvement. Yet the central question remains: how was it missed? The footage was never hidden or altered. It existed from the beginning, clear and accessible. The failure was not in the recording, but in the interpretation. The scene appeared ordinary, and that perception shaped the investigation. For investigators, the case becomes a lasting reminder that critical evidence does not always stand out. Sometimes the most important details are the ones that seem insignificant, blending into the background until viewed differently. Timing matters not just in events, but in when they are understood. The camera never failed. It recorded everything exactly as it happened. The truth was there from the start, captured in a moment that seemed unremarkable. It was not hidden or complex. It was too simple to notice. And that is why it was missed. The footage played. The evidence existed. The answer remained in place, unnoticed until it was too late. It was always there, waiting to be seen.